You're at a party. The music is loud, people are chatting, and suddenly, she walks up to you. She leans in, gives you a hug, but something feels different. It's not just a polite, quick embrace. It lingers for a second longer. Her body presses just slightly closer than usual. Her arms tighten briefly before she lets go. At that moment, your mind starts racing. Did that mean something? Was that just a friendly hug? Or was it something more? Should I have done something differently? You hesitate, unsure if you missed a sign. Most men don't know how to react in this situation. Some pull away too quickly, afraid of misreading the moment. Others hold on awkwardly, making it weird. And then there are those who do nothing, completely oblivious to the subtle invitation hidden within her touch. But here's the truth. A hug can reveal more about attraction than words ever could. It's a silent test, a way for her to gauge your reaction. If you fail to recognize it, you might unknowingly signal disinterest. But if you respond the right way, you can instantly increase her attraction toward you. So how do you know what kind of hug she's giving you? And more importantly, how should you respond? Let's break down the 4 types of hugs and the correct way to react so you never miss an opportunity again. A hug is never just a hug. It's one of the most instinctive forms of human connection, but beneath the surface, it carries layers of meaning. The way she embraces you, the way her body responds, and even the subtle details, like how long she holds on, can tell you far more than words ever could. Most men underestimate this. They assume a hug is just a casual greeting or a friendly gesture, failing to recognize the hidden signals embedded in physical touch. Women, however, are far more attuned to these details. A hug can be her way of testing comfort, measuring attraction, or even inviting something more. If you don't understand this silent language, you risk missing out on key moments that could deepen a connection. The mistake many men make is assuming all hugs are the same. But there's a huge difference between a quick, distant hug and one that lingers with warmth. Some hugs signal pure friendship, others are subtle invitations for more. The real challenge isn't just identifying the difference. It's knowing how to respond in a way that builds attraction rather than killing it. Your reaction in these moments matters more than you think. If you pull away too soon, you might make her feel rejected. If you hold on too long, you risk making things awkward. The key is to mirror her energy, read the subtle cues, and respond with confidence. Every hug is an opportunity, either to deepen the connection or to let it slip away unnoticed. Understanding this isn't just about decoding physical touch. It's about learning how to be present in the moment. Instead of overthinking or second-guessing, you need to develop the ability to stay calm, aware, and intentional. A man who can do this naturally stands out. He doesn't just react. He knows exactly how to turn an ordinary hug into a moment of real connection. So, what do different types of hugs actually mean? And how can you respond in a way that makes her feel drawn to you? Let's break it down step by step. Most men assume that when a woman hugs them, it's simply a casual act, nothing more than a polite gesture or a friendly habit. But this assumption can be a major mistake. A hug is often much more than just a greeting. It's a form of unspoken communication, revealing emotions, comfort levels, and sometimes even attraction. Some hugs are completely platonic, offering nothing more than a brief moment of social politeness. Others carry weight, subtle signals hidden in the way she holds you, how long she lingers, or the way her body aligns with yours. The challenge is being able to tell the difference. A woman will rarely say outright what she feels, but she will express it in these small, instinctive gestures. If you can learn to recognize them, you'll never be left wondering what she really means. What makes this even more crucial is that women often use physical touch as a way to test how a man reacts. She might lean in just slightly closer, press against you just a little longer, or let her hands rest on you in a way that feels different from a normal hug. These are all signals, but if you don't catch them, you might unknowingly communicate disinterest, or worse, make her feel like she misread the connection. The key is in how you respond. The wrong reaction can kill the moment instantly, while the right one can create a powerful sense of attraction. If you react with uncertainty, stiffening up, pulling away too soon, or hesitating awkwardly, she'll sense that lack of confidence. On the other hand, if you embrace the moment with a calm, controlled energy, you can subtly shift the interaction in your favor. To do this effectively, you first need to understand the different types of hugs women give and the meaning behind each one. Once you do, you'll be able to respond in a way that strengthens the connection rather than letting it fade away. Some hugs are nothing more than a polite gesture, quick, distant, and lacking any real emotional weight. These are the kind of hugs you give an old acquaintance or a relative you're not particularly close to. They last barely a second or two, and there's little to no real physical connection. She might keep her torso slightly away from yours, barely leaning in, and she'll likely add a few pats on your back before pulling away. This is the kind of hug that signals friendship. Nothing more, nothing less. If a woman consistently gives you this type of hug, it's a clear sign that she doesn't see you in a romantic way, at least not yet. Some men take this as an immediate rejection, assuming there's no chance to build attraction. But that's not necessarily the case. Just because she isn't showing romantic interest now, doesn't mean the dynamic can't shift over time. The mistake most men make in this situation is either ignoring the signs completely or reacting in a way that reinforces the lack of attraction. They either act indifferent, accepting the hug without a second thought, or they try to force more intimacy, which only makes things awkward. The key here is to do neither. Instead, use the moment as an opportunity to subtly change the energy between you. The best way to handle this type of hug is to stay composed and confident. Don't overanalyze it or show any disappointment. Instead, maintain strong eye contact afterward. Add a slight smirk or playfully tease her about the hug being too formal. By doing this, you create a new layer of tension, one that makes her question whether she wants to keep things purely friendly or if she should start seeing you differently. What most men don't realize is that attraction isn't always immediate. It can be built over time. If she only sees you as a friend now, it doesn't mean she won't develop feelings later. The way you handle these seemingly small interactions can shift the way she perceives you. Confidence, playfulness, and a little bit of mystery go a long way in subtly reframing the dynamic. Instead of accepting a distant hug as a permanent sign of disinterest, see it as a challenge, an opportunity to spark curiosity and intrigue. Some hugs carry a little more weight, not quite romantic, but not entirely platonic either. They last a second or two longer than a standard greeting, and there's a certain firmness in the way she holds on. She may press her arms around you with more intention, allowing a little more physical contact than necessary. It's not overwhelming, but it's noticeable. This is the kind of hug that suggests she feels comfortable around you, but she may not have fully decided how she feels yet. The mistake many men make in this situation is assuming that this hug automatically means attraction. While it's a positive sign, it's not a guarantee. She could just be naturally affectionate, or she might see you as someone she trusts, but isn't necessarily drawn to in a romantic way. The key to understanding this type of hug is in the details. Does her body remain relaxed against yours, or does she pull away quickly? Is the pressure of the hug firm but brief, or does she hold on just a little longer than expected? If you misread this moment and assume too much, you risk making things awkward. But if you play it right, this type of hug can be the perfect setup to increase attraction. The best response here is to mirror her energy while subtly pushing the interaction forward. Instead of letting go immediately, hold the hug for just a second longer than she expects. Not in a forceful way, just enough to make her notice the difference. Then, when you pull away, maintain strong eye contact for a brief moment before flashing a confident smirk or saying something playful like, "That was a solid hug. Are you trying to tell me something?" This creates a subtle challenge. It makes her think about what she's doing rather than just letting the moment pass unnoticed. If she smiles, lingers in your space, or responds playfully, she may already be warming up to the idea of something more. If she pulls away without reaction, don't take it personally. She may not be ready yet. Either way, your job is to stay composed, remain confident, and let her curiosity do the work. What makes a man attractive in moments like this isn't just his physical presence. It's his ability to read the situation and react in a way that feels natural, effortless, and slightly unpredictable. If you can do that, you shift the dynamic from just friends to something far more intriguing. Some hugs are different. They aren't just polite or friendly, they linger, carrying a warmth that suggests something deeper. When a woman gives you a long and warm hug, it means she's not in a rush to let go. Her body remains relaxed against yours, her arms stay wrapped around you just a little longer than necessary, and when she finally releases, it's slow and deliberate. Sometimes, you'll even notice a small pause before she pulls away, as if she's waiting for something, perhaps your response. This type of hug is one of the clearest signs that she feels a strong emotional connection to you. It may not mean outright attraction just yet, but it does indicate that she enjoys your presence, trusts you, and feels comfortable in your space. The difference between this and a purely friendly hug is in the details. Does she press her chest against yours? Does she breathe a little slower while holding on? Does she let her fingers lightly brush against your back? These are all subtle cues that she may be testing the waters, seeing how you react to this moment of closeness. The mistake many men make is failing to recognize this test for what it is. Some become too passive, standing stiffly and treating the hug like any other, which can make the moment feel forgettable. Others go too far, squeezing too tightly or trying to turn it into something overtly romantic before she's ready. The right way to respond is somewhere in between, acknowledging the warmth of the hug while keeping things natural and confident. When she gives you this kind of embrace, don't just stand there like a statue. Instead, subtly mirror her energy. If she lingers, you linger. If she presses in closer, respond with a gentle but firm presence. You can even lightly place your hand on her lower back, not in a possessive way, but just enough to reinforce the connection. If she's giving you this much time in her personal space, she's comfortable with you. So don't waste the moment by pulling away too soon. And when the hug ends, don't just step back like nothing happened. Pay attention to what happens next. Does she stay close to you for a second longer? Does she hold your gaze? These tiny moments matter more than most men realize. A long, warm hug isn't just about physical closeness, it's a bridge. If she's giving you the opportunity to step forward, don't be the guy who steps back. Some hugs are undeniable. They go beyond comfort, beyond warmth, and step directly into the realm of intimacy. When a woman gives you an intimate hug, she's not just embracing you, she's melting into your space. She rests her head on your shoulder or nestles into your neck, and her breathing slows, becoming more noticeable. The closeness lingers, and when she finally pulls away, it's unhurried, as if she's savoring the moment. Sometimes, you'll even feel a gentle caress on your back, a whisper near your ear, or a brief pause before she lets go completely. This is a clear signal. She may not be saying the words out loud, but her body is speaking for her. She feels safe with you. She trusts you. And most importantly, she's drawn to you. The mistake most men make in this moment is hesitating, either because they're unsure of what to do or because they don't want to misinterpret her intentions. They freeze, missing the opportunity to escalate the connection, or worse, they pull away too soon, unintentionally creating distance. If she gives you this type of hug, your response should be equally subtle but intentional. There's no need to overthink or force the moment, just match her energy. If she rests her head against you, gently place your hand on her lower back or waist, reinforcing the connection without overwhelming her. If she lingers before pulling away, hold her gaze for a second longer, letting the moment stretch just enough to deepen the tension. A confident man understands that intimacy isn't about rushing. It's about letting the moment unfold naturally. The most powerful move in this situation isn't necessarily to take action, but to recognize what's happening and respond with calm certainty. If she doesn't pull away immediately, if she stays close, if her touch lingers, these are all invitations. An intimate hug is often the final unspoken test before she's ready for more. If you recognize it for what it is, you'll never miss the moment again. A hug isn't just about the physical contact, it's about what happens before, during, and after that moment. Many men focus solely on the hug itself, but the real signals come in the seconds that follow. How she reacts once the embrace ends tells you everything you need to know. Pay attention to the way she separates. If she pulls away quickly and immediately creates distance, That's a sign she wasn't looking for anything more than a polite gesture. But if she lingers, even for just a second, holding your gaze or staying close within your space, she's giving you an opportunity. Some women will let their hands remain on your arms or chest for a brief moment after the hug. This is a strong indicator of attraction. Others might look up at you right as they pull away, subtly inviting more connection. If she smiles softly, maintains eye contact, or stays in your space instead of stepping back, she's waiting for your next move. The worst thing you can do in this situation is nothing. Many men hesitate, afraid to misread the moment, and end up doing exactly what kills attraction, acting indifferent. The key is to respond in a way that acknowledges the intimacy without overdoing it. If she lingers, you can casually brush her arm or place a light touch on her back as you continue the conversation. If she holds your gaze, let a brief smirk form before saying something playful like, "That was a little longer than expected. Should I be reading into that?" What separates confident men from those who get stuck in the friend zone is their ability to recognize these small details and act with certainty. A hug doesn't end when she lets go. It ends when the moment is closed. And if she's leaving that door open, it's up to you to step through. A confident man never rushes, never overreacts, and never seeks validation in these moments. He understands that attraction isn't about forcing an outcome. It's about being present, reading the situation, and allowing things to unfold naturally. This is where the Stoic mindset comes into play. A Stoic man doesn't get flustered when a woman hugs him. He doesn't overanalyze or panic about what it means. Instead, he remains composed, fully aware of his surroundings, and in control of his response. He doesn't cling or hesitate. He mirrors her energy, maintaining a steady, grounded presence. If she lingers, he lingers. If she presses closer, he acknowledges it with a subtle touch. If she pulls away, he doesn't react emotionally. He simply lets it happen, knowing that attraction grows strongest when it's not forced. The power of a hug isn't in the action itself, but in the energy exchanged. A man who exudes confidence, who doesn't seek reassurance but instead allows things to progress naturally, is infinitely more attractive. Women don't just want a man who understands their signals, they want a man who can handle them with certainty. At the end of the day, every hug is a moment of connection, whether fleeting or meaningful. Some will be purely friendly, others will be tests, and a few will be silent invitations for more. The difference between men who succeed and those who struggle is simple. One knows how to recognize and respond, while the other lets the moment pass him by. So, the next time a woman hugs you, pay attention. Not just to the embrace itself, but to everything surrounding it. The way she moves, the way she looks at you afterward, and the way she lingers or pulls away. Within those seconds lies the answer to the question most men never stop to ask. Is she drawn to me? If this video helped you recognize something new, let me know in the comments. Have you ever misread a hug before? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. Until next time, good luck with your connections.